What's going on, guys? Cheney RC Garage here with the new RUSTLER 4x4 light kit from Traxxas. Gonna be installing this today. It comes with two front-facing light bars, one rear-facing light bar, and then you're also gonna need some Lexan scissors and a body reamer, as well as a 2mm wrench and a 2.5mm wrench to install it. Alright, so opening up the box here, we have our instruction manual. We also have a template to line up the holes on top of the vehicle. Looks like we have the front bumper here with the light bar in it. Very nice, seems very quality. And then here we have the roof mounted front facing light bar as well as the rear facing light bar. Also feel extremely nice. Very well made, as I'd expect from Traxxas light kits at this point. So far I've loved all of them. We got a battery tap here. Looks like it adds on to the existing connector. And then we have a power supply with two leads coming out of it. So front bumper and one for the roof. And then it looks like this is the other end to the power tap. A few zip ties and two screws, probably for the power supply and cables. Alright, so I have a 2mm and 2.5mm set here. I'll be using those for the screws. I also have an X-Acto knife instead of a Lexan knife. I'm going to be using this or a box cutter.
This guy.
So we're going to go ahead and grab our template that came in our box here, and we're just going to line this up with the front two holes for the roof skid on top of the body. So Traxxas suggests using a body reamer, as I probably would, but since I don't have one and don't feel like making a trip out to get one or ordering one, I'm just going to use a 3/8 inch drill bit, and I'm pushing down on the body just to make it have a little bit more rigidity, and just going to go ahead and drill in both these holes. So here's where Traxxas recommends using some body scissors. Like I stated earlier, I don't have any available to me at my place, so I'm just using a box cutter. You can use an X-Acto knife, and I'm just trying to cut out this template so I can fit in the roof-mounted LED bars. Please be careful. So now that I've got most of that cut out, I'm going to go ahead and slip the connector through and then try and press fit in the roof mounted skid and see if it fits, which it does. And it kind of clicks into place so it fits snugly. Now that you've made sure you can fit the roof skid in, go ahead and peel off the tape. So now with our roof skid inserted and the old one removed, we're going to go ahead and insert these 4 screws back into our roll cage to secure the roof skid.
Oh, my poor little screws are all orange. Because I let it.
Now that we have our roof skid attached, let's go ahead and remove the front 2 screws holding on the bumper. I'm going to remove the 3 screws underneath the chassis holding on the front bumper. So when you're attaching the new bumper to the truck, go ahead and run the connector through the little bumper brace just to keep it out of the way and it won't get pinched by the bumper in between the bumper brace. And then we're going to reinsert our 3 screws on the bottom holding in the bumper. Go ahead and reinsert the 2 front screws into the front bumper. Now that the front bumper is reattached, go ahead and remove the wire from inside of the bumper brace and bring it on top. And then we're going to route it through the shock tower making sure to leave slack on it for when the bumper gets crushed during impacts. It doesn't fray the wire. Go ahead and pull out your baggie containing your zip ties and 2 screws. We're going to use those 2 screws to attach our power supply to the front of the vehicle.
Take over. I got it.
Oh, let's put it there. Okay, you can go.
Alright, so we have our power tap here, which we're going to be installing onto the ESC power connector. And you install it simply by lining up the connectors and pushing it on from the back side of the connector. Once you have that pushed on there, you can go ahead and grab your other plastic piece with 2 screws. So I'm going to go ahead and pull a zip tie around this front bumper brace, and leaving slack, I'm going to loosely zip tie it just to prevent it from getting caught in one of the shocks as it's compressing. And then remember, just doesn't need to be tight, and you need to make sure there's some slack on it. There's on this so the bumper can flex. Snip. Now we're going to go ahead and secure the rest of this power tap wire. I chose to loosely zip tie it to my motor wires. May or may not be the best idea to put extra weight on those, but it'll do for now. So that's what I'm going to roll with, and we'll go ahead and snip this one off too. Alright guys, hopefully that wasn't too bad. Now we're going to go ahead and plug in our connectors on the power supply, and that is our last step. Alright, well, to sum it up, the Rustler light kit for $49 includes 2 front LED bars, 1 rear LED bar. Doesn't have brake lights or reverse lights like the other Traxxas light kits. One downside is you're gonna have this in your way every time you take the body off. You have your front light bar, just ran through here, zip tied with a little bit of slack, just for impacts. Little 3-volt power supply that runs off of a battery tap, which is actually a very nice battery tap, super easy. And honestly, it kind of beefs up the ESC battery plug. And then I just zip tied this battery tap wire just on the motor wires loosely, just to try and hold it out of place. It's not putting a lot of pressure on anything. So overall, I would say go buy this.